So, imposter syndrome. I'm going to be found out. Someone will realize that I'm just not the right person for this. So the reality is we go through life carrying two bags on our back. And these beliefs or stories that we tell ourselves in one bag, those stories that support us to be strong, successful and courageous. But we have a second bag as well. And in that second bag, we carry the beliefs or the stories that actually don't support us, that can stop us from being the extraordinary person we were meant to be. But here's the fundamental reality check. They are just stories. They are just stories. And what we need to know is that our unconscious mind's guiding principle is to protect us. And we've created and chosen these stories at some stage in our lives to protect us from a one-off event. We've fed our unconscious mind from an instruction book that no longer serves the purpose for which we wrote it. And so to know this already is really an amazing thing and really fundamental. So firstly, get in touch with the scenarios where you press the play button on your I'm not good enough story. Think about the different scenarios where that can happen. Note them down. And what do you notice about those situations? What's your internal dialogue? What do you see? Is it about people who you believe to be important, people who you believe to be more experienced? And what are you telling yourself about that? So I'm too young, I'm not experienced enough, I haven't got a degree, I don't have the technical knowledge, they're much more popular than I am, they're smarter than I am. All of these things will be focused on a past situation with some sort of imagined consequences in the future. But the amazing thing is that we can rewrite those things. Our unconscious mind needs a different story, a different narrative to work with. So firstly, start with asking yourself two questions. Is this belief or this story 100% true 100% of the time? And the second question is this serving me to be my best in the future? And if the answer to one or both of those is no, then again, that's an amazing step forward right now in this moment when you're thinking about it. Now, our unconscious mind is a little bit stubborn and a little bit slow to learn. It needs the same new story many times to embed it, to understand that that old belief, that old friend you had isn't true and isn't telling the truth. So what's your new story and how do we embed that? Well, if you think about when you had a previous role or responsibility, when you felt in a similar way before, you probably had the same sorts of feelings going on in the same sorts of scenarios. So did you get better at that role or that responsibility? Well, you probably did. And how did it feel towards the end of having that responsibility or that role when you'd gone through it many, many different times? Well, it probably felt fine or felt a lot better. So let's replay this. So suppose I'm in a meeting with important people. I know that's when my limiting beliefs might come in and I might be challenged. I notice my anxiety building. It's a feeling inside me, a physical feeling inside me. I might choose to take some deep breaths, which can calm me down immediately. That's a good thing to do. And as I notice it, I might choose to say to myself, that's my old friend again. This sort of imposter, this feeling of anxiety. But is it helpful? Well, no, not really. So I'm just going to ask my friend to step aside, just to go to the sidelines for a moment. Just go over there right now. Because actually right now I'm okay. I'm okay right here, right now. I know that I'm learning every time. I'm getting stronger and better. And it's okay to be me. And I might make a mistake, but that's okay also. So we're reframing our thinking in the moment. We're noticing what's happened physically. We're then thinking about the words that we might be telling ourselves and saying a few different things to break that pattern, to scratch that record. So noticing the situation, noticing the feeling, noticing the thinking, and reframing that thinking can create a new habit. And it does take a while, but you are in control, not your stories.